kid you not, guys, it was about here where I ran a play. I'm trying to analyze what my opponent is doing. I looked to the top right and I noticed his name. And I'm like, wait a minute, isn't this the guy who's number one on the leaderboards? Right? Because I briefly went to the top 100 leaderboards and I remember seeing a couple of names in the top portion of the leaderboards. And I'm like, I think this is the guy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to try a little bit harder. Okay? So, I'm going to do a lot of this. Notice how I'm moving my best receiver to the slot. I'll get into that into a different video. I come out, and this is where I know, okay, at this point, this guy is going to sit in two-man pretty much the entire game, and he's going to come out in this fast personnel with all of these DBs. This has a lot of weaknesses to it, okay? I run no huddle because I want to keep that personnel out on the field. Now, look at this play that we have here. There's a reason why I wanted to stick with the run in this game. Hopefully I go over that in the cut apart piece. Okay? But you keep the threat of running the ball. Okay? Because that threat of running the ball, I notice what he is doing as the safety here. Okay? He is using the safety trying to help out in the run because one of the weaknesses of two-man is that there is only 6 in the box, right? This is what theory is all about. Defenses are always playing to their help. Every core element of the defense, okay? Well, take a look at these corners. Where is their help? Their help is the deep outside half safeties, okay? They are relying on that safety to be over the top and to the outside. So with that in mind, what these corners do is they want to play underneath inside help. So how can we take advantage of this? Well, think about what he's doing as a safety. He is amplifying, or I would say trying to hide the weakness of this defense. One of the weaknesses of this defense is the box, right? Because we can get a hat on the hat and get downhill. So he's trying to hide that weakness by adding an extra safety in the box. But what that does is it adds an element of weakness to the defense because he's supposed to be playing deep half over the top and these corners are relying on that. So what we're going to do is that run has the potential threat of hitting the box, so he wants to play underneath and in the box. So we're going to exploit him by snapping the ball, okay, eyeing the safety, and if he stays anywhere near in the box, I know I have him, and we can throw over the top because the corner is expecting help over the top, and his help isn't there because he's trying to help out on the run. Snap the ball. Right here, he's sitting flat, he's in the box, I know I have him. Now we're going to throw outside shoulder, get the touch. Alright, so once you exploit an opponent, you gotta, pay close attention to how they adjust to that, okay? Is he gonna get out of two-man? Is he going to play other defenses, right? Is he gonna check into a different coverage? Or is he gonna stay in that same coverage but make minor adjustments to deal with how you are trying to exploit him, okay? And I noticed that no matter what, he's staying in this personnel, okay, and he's going to stay in this particular coverage, okay? Very sparingly will he get out of it, and he'll go to something like cover 4 drop zone. But, notice how we can still utilize pre-snap reading, the same, theory tactics that I've been teaching for years, right? And it reigns true against the number one player on the leaderboards. So here I checked into this, and did you see what happened here? Pay close attention here. No, I'm not talking about the obvious pass interference there, but take a look at the wide receiver in the corner here. Look how the corner does a full zone turn, right? He's a man-to-man defense, but that corner did a zone turn. So that tells me that this guy is turning him into a deep zone, even though he's a man-to-man defense. So, keep that in mind. So here's third down. It looks like he's in some type of cover 0. So I check into a quick hitting play with the slot receiver, and we have to get rid of the ball before the hot defender comes in. So the ball's got to get out before he gets there, and we get it just in time inside for a first down. Okay, so notice the personnel set that I'm coming out in, right? This is one way you can exploit someone who comes out in a personnel like this, okay? We can come out in a heavier set with two tight ends, and now we can run it on you. You're playing this type of man coverage, okay? And look how we get outside. We get the running back on the corner, toss him out of the way. Now, you know, I'm not one of those gimmick players. You guys should know that by now, where you tap left and right. So I've heard of that, where the running back changes the ball in a different hand so he can run faster. To me, that's corny, man. I'm just a sim player, right? Here, notice how he's shifting the defense further inside, and I know it's some type of man coverage, so we have it open for our slant inside, okay? So look how I do the personnel. Look how I put the tight end on the slot in a gun formation. Why do I do that? I'm upping. If you're going to play in this small lineup with the defensive backs, I can do a number of different things. I can put in a heavier set and do different things with the running game, okay? Because that's the weakness of the personnel grouping he's throwing out there, right? So I check into a run, and it just creates so many different problems for his defense in so many different ways. I can make so many videos on this, but I don't want to hold you guys for too long. So again, I'm pre-snap reading. I know he's in some type of two-man, right? We snap the ball and pay close attention. Remember what I told you earlier about the corner zone turning, even though he's in man coverage? Look at this corner here. He's zone turning. So he's playing two-man, but then he's taking that corner and he's playing him out into a deep zone. And why is he doing that? He's doing that because he's afraid of that deep pattern that I threw on him a couple of times. I didn't show the first one because the video would only go back 30 minutes. My first touchdown, I believe it had something to do with a deep fly pattern to Lamb. Okay, so, you know, we see how he's trying to adjust. We see that he is primarily a guy who wants to come out in a quarters type coverage with all of the defensive backs, and he wants to play two-man. That's just his game. There's just so many different ways to exploit this, primarily in the box with the running game, and then we see that he likes to compensate for that with the safeties, okay? And then you can readjust by attacking over the top because that safety is supposed to play deep half, okay? So here's another thing you can do. This is what I was doing. I was coming out in a base flex empty set and then shifting into a running formation, okay? Because we have a heavy set to run against his particular personnel grouping. All right, so next play. All right, what's the pre-snap read, guys? This is two-man. I mean, you see how we can still utilize theory? This is two-man, and he's in that quarters package. But I have to throw the ball because it's 3rd and 9. So my thinking here with this particular play was to read this safety here. Okay, he's going to dictate where I go with the ball. I was hoping he would user this safety. If this safety comes down to defend this crossing pattern by Lamb, then I have the back over the top for a touchdown because that linebacker has no help over the top. However, if the safety stays over the top, then I can look to throw to Lamb on the inside, hoping that he wins inside against two-man. Safety plays deep, so now I know I have Lamb on the inside, and we pick up a big first down. Look at how we're throwing the ball rather well against a defensive set pretty much designed to try to stop the pass. Look, you see how we're able to exploit the personnel grouping that he refuses to get out of, right? With the heavier set, with the tight end in the slot. Now here, I noticed that he would always take the safety, move him first as a pre-snap deal. What he likes to do is bring the safeties down closer while playing two-man, and then click over to the other safety. So my plan here was to wait until he grabs this safety, moves him in, and immediately snap the ball, knowing that he wouldn't play his deep half responsibility, which would leave this corner one-on-one with no help over the top, even though he's supposed to have one-on-one help. So I'm going to snap the ball when I saw him move this safety. He moves, snap. Right here is where I know I got him. Over the top, deep outside ball, touchdown. Again, you guys, you can utilize theory, understanding strengths and weaknesses of different coverages. That's why it's so important to understand 422031. Learn how to pre-snap read, learn the 6 different shell coverages, and then learn the strengths and weaknesses of those shell coverages. And there is not a defense that someone can throw at you that you won't know where you should attack. Then from that point, when your opponent starts making adjustments within that coverage, you'll know where they are amplifying the strength of the coverage or where they are weakening a, a part of that coverage where it's supposed to be strong. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Well, he's weakening what's supposed to be strong in this particular instance by what he's doing. In two-man, this wide receiver is essentially bracketed with help over the top. But because he's bringing this safety down, okay, and I caught him lacking by snapping while he was bringing him down, okay, it weakens this part of the field because the corner is expecting help over the top and he's not there. That's what Peyton Manning used to do. He used to manipulate defenders in a coverage and attack where someone is supposed to be, right? You can do that with play action, you can do that with route concepts, etc. Okay. So here, I don't remember what happened here. Oh, right, like you see the pass blocking there, right? Real interesting there. So he scored, and now we have to drive with 31 seconds. And my lack of playing the game, you notice how I only have one timeout? There was 2 times in this half where I had to call a timeout because I wasn't ready, I couldn't get the controls right, etc. So I'm still out of my element because again, this was my 20th game. This was my 20th game played in this game. Okay, I was literally 18-2 when I played this game. Okay, so and what I do is I really don't go to the practice field when I play a new Madden. I just get right into the game, right? I just go right online and I play it, and I just rely on theory until maybe a month after, until I find an actual playbook that I love and I know how the game is coded in certain situations. So here I knew that he was playing outside leverage with different zone. I think I had a feeling he was going to play like a cover 4 drop zone and then play more to the outside. So I wanted to do a high-low read here and have an inside take here. And the way he threw that ball, I literally could have won the game if he would have put the ball more so he could run in rhythm. I would have been able to got more yardage and you know, snap the ball and call timeout, do whatever I have to do to be in line for a field goal. And right here, can you imagine if I still had the other 2 timeouts? I would have won the game, right? So that's the game. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and you know, hopefully after I get a lot more games in, I'll get more in tune with what playbook I want to use, how the game is you know, coded in regards to what routes defends what routes they allow to exploit different leverages, and etc.